If you've ever wondered how to get a head-turning physique and what exactly makes a physique attractive in the first place, then this video will cover that specifically, because I'm going to teach you the physique triad and the 3 key indicating traits that will determine if your physique is actually attractive or not, what you can do at each stage, and some brutal truths along the way. We're starting off with arguably the most important one, and that is height, okay? The brutal truth here is, unfortunately, guys, you do get what you're given with height, okay? Making a physique attractive, height is incredibly important, okay? You may not think this has anything to do with muscle, but the way your muscle sits when you are taller, when you have a height advantage, is incredible. You're able to make more muscle look way more impressive, okay? Height makes it harder to fill out, but the rewards will eternally mog being shorter, okay? It will take years and years. I've spent years, because I'm 6'3", I've spent years trying to build my physique, but the rewards as I built it closer and closer to becoming more aesthetic are incredible, because when you have longer limbs, when you have longer muscle bellies, everything just looks so more full and so more aesthetic and so much more real and better looking once you actually get to an aesthetic muscular point. But the thing with being shorter is it's better for true bodybuilders, okay? A lot of the shorter guys, 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", they will tend to be on stage all the time because it's easy to fill out and they can have the correct bodybuilding proportions. But if you're trying to get aesthetic, if you're trying to get benefits in the real world, you need a female gaze physique. And a female gaze physique, well, a lot of the times is benefited by being tall. Simple as that, okay? And as well, it's arguably the biggest life halo. Females are going to find this attractive as well. It's not just a physique thing. It's just a social hierarchy dominance thing, okay? A lot of the world leaders, like I was talking to my mate, and like the last 10 world leaders of America, whatever, have all been, you know, above 6 foot, or most of them have been. It's just simple. It's just, I can't help you here, bro. If you're not tall, like there's nothing you can do. Unless you want to go do like fucking looks maxing limb lengthening surgery, you can't do a whole lot, okay? And simply, like, if you are bigger and taller, you're going to look better. It's just that. But the solution is, if you are short, okay, if you are not blessed, build a shapely physique and avoid turning it into a fridge at all costs. Because you can see from this picture, if you're a shorter guy and you build muscle, you can go way too far, way too quickly, and then you just look like a box, and you look like this weird fucking, this is often called gym cell. You just look stupid. Unless you're competing for a bodybuilding comp, this is not going to get you true positive benefits in the real world, because you just look like a fucking monster pretty much, okay? And look, if you are blessed, you still need to have the same goal. Build a shapely physique, and the physique I prescribe is a female gaze physique, one that has the lean, attractive, you know, aspects and will give you real results in the real world, and will also turn heads, but is not over the top to where you look like a fucking absolute refrigerator and look like an idiot, if I'm being honest, okay? But if you're tall, you just need more discipline and more patience, okay? So that's height covered. We're going to go over that quickly because you can't do shit about it, bro. I'm sorry, okay? Next is frame. Now, this is one thing that both short and tall guys can change, and it is incredibly helpful, okay? If you are tall and you have a good frame, just like fucking Andro here, androgenic, you've won the genetic lottery, okay? Because a wide frame simply makes you look more jacked and more powerful. So you can literally look like a fucking superhero and dominate everyone, be taller and wider than everyone in society walking through the street. And you're going to get so many choosing signals, so many indicators of interest, and so much more respect. And people are just going to see you as more dominating. And the thing is, you don't even need that much muscle, right? A lot of guys that just have frames and are tall, they don't have that much muscle and they still look incredible, because it's all about how much size you're taking up. It's not really about the muscle bellies, because a lot of the times if you're wearing a shirt, you can't really tell. But if you've got this like fucking massive frame with not even that much muscle, you're still going to look better than a short dude, and you're still going to stand out more than a shorter dude who has a lot of muscle. It's just the truth of the world. But okay, even if you are shorter though, I've got a mate who's quite shorter than me, and he still fucking mogs, right? Frame can carry your physique, and frame will carry your physique if you're short or tall, okay? That's because it just makes you look more aesthetic. How do we actually get a wide frame? What is the solution? How do we build it for ourselves? Well, firstly, it does come down a lot to genetics. The width of your clavicles, or the length of your clavicles, which is this bone across here, is largely genetically determined. But we can actually do maximization of bideltoid width, which is the length across here inclusive of muscle, which will help us to increase our frame and look wider. And I see this all the time. Guys that don't have the biggest frames are still able to pack on good size and look pretty good. And the way we're going to do this is by training our deltoid shape and our lat size. Okay, the reason I say deltoid shape is because some guys overdo this completely and they end up making their clavicles and their bideltoid width look smaller. If you have massive traps, which I'm classifying as part of the shoulder region, right? If you train your traps too much and you have massive traps, what it's going to do is make you look more trapezoid and more triangular at the top, and it's going to decrease the length of your clavicles in a visual, perception way. Okay, it may not actually do this, but you're just going to look like you have shorter, smaller clavicles and you're not as wide because there's too much mass here and there's not enough mass on the side. That's why the shape we need to be targeting is a round delt, right? Which is where we're focusing on our side delts so they pop out. And that is going to give us the best bang for our buck, add the best width to our frame, and then to actually increase our frame overall, we're going to be doing lat exercises, specifically focusing on things like weighted pull-ups. That has been the best for me, which is going to give you a nice V-taper back where you can see it flares out to the side like this and it looks like you have wings, and that is just going to make you look good from the front and back. Okay, so if you partner the shoulders and the lat size, you're going to be chilling. And another way you can make yourself look better and have an imposing aesthetic frame is simply by reducing visceral fat and overall waist measurement. Okay, and that's why all the time these guys that bulk up to fucking Andromeda are just getting mogged to death by the guys who are lean and aesthetic. And that's why I champion the female gaze physique, and I don't agree with this whole massive bodybuilding steroid head movement. If you want to be truly attractive and get the best bang for your buck in the real world, if you're being honest with yourself, is probably the reason you started going to the gym in the first place, then we need the female gaze physique. We need something that has a good balance of the physique triad. Notice how I haven't included mass specifically in the physique triad. You do still need mass, but you don't want to be a mass monster because then you're just going to get weird looks. You're going to get looks of disgust and, weird alienation looks instead of attractiveness and, admiration, which is what's going to happen when you build an aesthetic physique. And it's through going from a shit physique to building an aesthetic one that you will experience the best life-changing benefits. And that's the reason why I created my community, which you can join through the link in the description, which is free right now, where you can learn how to build this properly in quicker time than I did for myself and how to implement it and package yourself to gain results in the real world as well. Okay, and finally, in the physique triad, we have the coveted body fat percentage. Okay, lean body mass is essential, and having a low body fat percentage will tie your physique together, and honestly it can make an average physique stand out. That's why, like I said, guys that are lean and have a bit of muscle, especially if they are tall and have a frame, are just mogging dudes who are jacked and short and higher body fat. They're mogging them to oblivion, right? That's because lean is 100% law for attraction and also health, and you can't argue with this shit. You still need mass. You still can't be a complete twink and a complete skinny boy, look like a Minecraft skeleton, right? Because then if you're lean, if you're super shredded, but you have no muscle, you're going to look like you're out of the Holocaust Jewish camp, right? But if you're muscular and you're lean, everything is just going to pop. You're going to look so much more defined, so much more sculpted, and you're going to look like, well, simply like this motherfucker, like a Greek sculpture. And this is an extreme case, but you can just see this guy is just incredible when he is lean, right? And even myself, I'm not even that lean in this picture, but you can see everything standing out so much more despite not having the craziest physique. So 8 to 13% is a sweet spot for men if you want to look good and you want to still keep your libido, okay? A lot of guys say that your testosterone will crash if you get lean, but being like 10%, I swear, is going to be the ultimate sweet spot, okay? If you go below that, you're getting into bodybuilder, stage lean position, which is kind of sus because you're going to be eating like a fucking child. But also, if you go above this, then your body is not in an insulin sensitive state. Your body is not functioning as optimally as it could be. And we know that fat tissue increases aromatization, which therefore increases estrogen count, decreasing testosterone. And we need testosterone for healthy libido so we can actually get our rocks off and get our dick hard and actually do stuff in the real world, which is what we're building a physique for in the first place, okay? So the solution to get there, well, it's pretty simple. Achieve an energy deficit through exercise and less food. Don't be a fat fuck. Stop following this bullshit bodybuilding advice of eating all this rubbish processed food and bulking in like a 2,000 calorie surplus, right? I've seen motherfuckers doing a 16,000 calorie cheat day. Like, why are you doing that? You're just gonna look like shit. And if you're not pinning steroids in the ass, well, you're going to fuck yourself pretty bad when you're doing this, okay? Now, if you are going in a cut right now, if you are in a deficit, just like I am, when cutting food, you need to keep testosterone high by eating animal fats and not cutting out carbs completely. Removing one of the 3 macronutrients from your diet is the stupidest thing you can do. Don't go on keto. Don't cut out fat, don't cut out carbs, just keep a healthy diet, keep animal fat consumption pretty high, at least 50 to 60 grams per day, because that's what's going to keep your hormones functioning. Even though you're battling a deficit, you still want to do what you can to keep your hormones working, because having higher testosterone, having better hormone function is going to be more muscle sparing. You're going to have more energy in general, and it's going to result in less of a fucking negative rebound when you start to try and fix your diet and, fix your health again and get back to normal. Because the goal is we don't want to be fucking unhealthy. Obviously, going through a cut is a little unsustainable, but we still need to be keeping healthy, right? That's the whole goal of this, to live a good life and not fucking hate ourselves, okay? So, if you can max out these 3 things, if you can get lean, if you can build your frame, and if you are blessed to have height, or if you can use your height as an advantage, then you are going to achieve the physique triad of attractiveness, and you are going to speed run your way to an aesthetic physique. These type of physiques stand out the most, get you the most dating options, get you the most social opportunities. It is just literally heaven if you have all 3 of these, and you'll likely see that most influencers that are successful, well, they have some combination, at least 2 or 3 of these. And again, if you want to learn how to maximize these for yourself and how to do the best with what you have, if you're an underdog, if you have shit genetics, you can achieve an aesthetic physique and you can change your life forever. It's only the beginning, the base foundation of what you need to do to achieve a good life, transform every aspect of it, and actually not want to fucking hate yourself anymore, okay? Check the link in the description for the community for that. You can also check this video, which I think will help you specifically. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.